What isn't a cult, but feels like a cult? I live in Orlando, and Disney people are crazy. It is amazing living in Utah. Mormon ladies are addicted to Disney movies, and Disney would do those re-release of old movies every 5 years or so. You see, they have walls of DVDs. The Holy Church of CrossFit. Exactly. My ex was also doing this, and called them her new family just after 2 weeks. Another 4 weeks, and I was single. Hate them. Mommy groups. And even specific groups. Like a cult within a cult. Joined a cloth diapering group. I was excommunicated for using Pampers at night. Breastfeeding? If you aren't nursing till 4. Bye. I agree with this 100%. I'm a lawyer. The number of times I've heard moms come to me about something being discussed in their mom group, and how I need to make it right is astonishing. It gets even worse when they bring up how Laura said whatever the issue is illegal, and they need to be compensated for it. It's like, I'm sorry, but no, you aren't entitled to compensation, because you are concerned about the perfectly legal fertilizer your neighbor is using on his lawn, unless there are actual damages or injuries caused by it. And as a mother isn't a sound legal argument either. As someone who owns an iPhone, AirPods, Apple Watch, AirTags, Powerbeat Pros, and many Apple accessories, Apple, the Church of Jobs, is definitely a cult. I'm surprised Apple is still paying taxes and not declaring Tim Cook is a prophet. My condo association. No, I will not host the ritual at my place again this month, Dave. My wife worked her way up to president of our condo association. She's so anti-HOA that she has basically made it non-functional and doesn't enforce anything. One of our neighbors is also anti-HOA, and he got elected as treasurer, so now they have majority vote on the board and overrule the other voting member who is a snobby, hateful old lady. Edit. Thanks all for the kind words. I want to clarify, when I said that my wife has made the condo association non-functioning, I'm referring to the petty bullshit like welcome mat size and thickness that the previous HOA board seemed overly obsessed with. As a result, they ignored a lot of building maintenance, and my wife is solely focusing on upgrading and fixing issues that were ignored for years or even decades. The essential oils cure everything, people. Those are cults according to Byte Model. Webkins was the cult back in the day. Neopets. They reeled you in with cuties and took all of your mom's money for more Neopets and a subscription and the like cards and stuff. And if someone didn't have or know about Neopets, they were immediately thrown to the bottom of the social hierarchy. Jared Leto in general. He sells t-shirts that say yes, this is a cult. Also, it is the band's motto. Sort of. MLMs. The brainwashing is real. They might actually meet the criteria for being a cult. Actually, depending on the group. American political parties. I hate them and sit to pick the lesser of two evils. Bitch, can't we just get rid of the two evils? Adults who are obsessed with child actors. On that vein, child beauty pageants. Those insane pro-breastfeeding groups are very cult-like in my experience. Not bashing breastfeeding, I did it myself. But so many women in those groups talk about formula like it's lethal poison. Similarly, those crazy free birth types. I told someone that my dad fed me most of the time as my mom works 70-hour weeks after I was born. They got so confused. After I explained, they said, sorry, I forget that not everyone feeds their baby the way God intended. My mom was working double shifts in an ER as a charge nurse. She couldn't just come home every couple of hours to feed me. The Andrew Tate fan club. Whispers, who is Andrew Tate? He's been mentioned to me, or I've seen him on my feed, but IDK wanna look dumb, so I just smile and nod. College Greek life. Pay money to join a group that has you dress the same, talk the same, chant in rhythm, and engage in humiliating/degrading behavior. Can confirm. Was Alpha Phi at Alabama. Crypto. Especially the way they react when you start asking too many questions. Audi ownership, at least in the UK. I had an Audi Q3 as a hire car recently, and other Audi drivers were suddenly letting me out at junctions, offering me parking spaces and even stopping to talk to me, as if we'd known each other for years. I'm actually serious about this. It was weird. I add Jeep owners to this. They leave ducks on each other's Jeeps. Why? Stan culture. The weird obsession over celebs is alarming. Dedicated extremist fans. I found that Stephen King fans are very cult. Why? I remember reading something about how he is the god of horror genre, and every he has written and will write is absolutely gold. He can never write a bad book. Edit. It seems like some people have missed my point. I'm not saying all fans of Stephen King are extremist. I'm a pretty big fan, but I judge the book after I read it. In reality, pretty much everything has this type of fan following which is borderline cultish. Stephen King was the first example I could think of. I like his books. I've read every one. I could name half a dozen that are just fucking awful, and more that aren't great. K-pop fan base. Edit. This is the first time I got an award. OMG, thank you guys, I feel so whole. The companies that own the pop bands actually use religious marketing strategies. Sororities/fraternities. I wasn't aware these things aren't seen as cults. Pyramid schemes. The Andrew Tate crowd, I'm looking at you. Pit percussion. Yay. First it was, those drumline guys can't read real music. Then it was, look at me, I can play 4-mallet marimba. Then I went to try out for Phantom and a guy there was like, look at me, I can play 6-mallet marimba. Then he floated into the air above everyone and transcended into the light. Fucking pit percussion, SMH. People who answer this same question 3 times a week on the front page of Reddit. I've seen this same question, worded the exact same, no less than 3 times before. I swear, this is just a karma farm nowadays. People aren't even trying to be original anymore. Reddit carrot. First rule of Reddit. As a PhD student, I have to say academia. It feels like a cult and MLM scheme at the same time. Edit. To add more perspective, I just encountered too many people in their mid to late 30s doing their third postdoc with no life savings to their name, working 70, 80-hour weeks on sub-pay over a decade. They were sold the image that someday they will get a tenured position, although the probability of it happening is just so low. Yet, some of them vehemently defend the sanctity of a career in academia and believe that they have moral high ground in undertaking such a sacrifice whilst complaining about the side effects. To add to that, public-funded research paper paywalls. Research paid by tax money is not accessible to taxpayers. Lack of reproducible published results. Endless cycle of writing grants and publishing with no end use. Research fields that never translate well into industry, thereby making it hard, impossible, to switch to industry. Make no mistake, academic research in itself is very much required for our society. Renewable energy, studies on global warming, pharmacy, whatnot. But from the perspective of a sustainable career, it just doesn't feel right. I think a man should save himself from the world before he tries to save the world. Tesla ownership. The Elon Musk fandom in general. Take your pick from any MLM. They suck people in and create this giant sisterhood where people get addicted to all their new friends. The moment you want out of the pyramid scheme, they turn on you in a second. You get so many hateful messages from most of them, and sometimes people choose to stay out of fear of losing everyone they've grown close to because they alienated everyone else in their life. In all due respect, avid Trump supporters, I feel like almost anyone who sees the problems with certain people and still decides to support them with no reaction is crazy. This goes for any person in politics. Being a mother to guinea pigs. I'm serious. Guinea pigs really do think they are chosen by God and control you. I'm the only member of this cult to admit that it is one and loves it so much. Worshipping the Kardashians. Texas. Not a cult, but the biggest religion in the world. Coffee. When I tell people I don't drink it, I feel like sometimes I've broken a person's brain. Elon Musk fans. Kanye West fans. My country, New Zealand's fanatical obsession with rugby, especially the national team, the All Blacks, named for their black uniforms. My cycling club. Companies that talk about how they're a family. Also r/Wall Street bets, those apes get tats. Herbalife. Workplaces that tell their employees they're part of the family.